The last football game of the BCS era certainly did not disappoint, but for the Auburn Tigers, disappointment is probably the best word to describe the mood in the locker room. And following their 34-31 defeat to Florida State in the national championship game, head coach Gus Malzahn had to speak to a team that was down and disappointed and do his best to lift them up.
Ryan, just like college football, the weekend it seems to be getting tougher and tougher and heavier games starting to mean a little bit more.
Yeah, Greg, especially here at East Limestone, where the winner of tonight's football game will be among the first teams in the state to virtually wrap up a playoff spot. Russellville and East Limestone each undefeated at 5-0. For the hometown Indians, that's the best start since 2007, which means some of the players on the field behind me, when that happened, we're in elementary school. Now that I've filibustered your election coverage, let's hand it back to Clarissa Majority Vote McLean and gerrymandering Hayes.
I have no comeback to that. But as we go to break, here's a look at some of the other races.
Madison County and East Limestone, we've been hoping we could have this game on the schedule at some point this season. Fate is finally giving it to us in the quarterfinals. Death Valley, widely known as one of the scariest stadiums for opposing college football teams in the country. They're expecting a record crowd for Alabama LSU, not just because it's a huge game, but because renovations in the offseason added several thousand seats, bringing capacity up to 102,321, the fifth largest stadium in the country, second largest in the SEC, only behind Neyland Stadium in Knoxville.
There will be some dry times too.
All right, thanks,
Ryan,
Jason.
And Ryan, make sure you hydrate.
Yes.
I'm drinking all night. Water.
See you tomorrow.
All's well that ends well for Alabama and Auburn after week one of the college football season. It wasn't always pretty, but the Tigers and Tide each pulled away in the second half. And though not ranked, West Virginia and Arkansas are respectable opponents. But this week, Clarissa, cupcakes, anyone? Let's call this one San Jose State, this one Florida Atlantic. Sure, they may not be great teams, but no matter who you're playing, or in this case, eating,
He can cook too.
you have to approach it the same way.
Too bad we gotta go home now. Well, we had a really great year. It's too bad it had to end. I mean, we were doing so well. I think I know what started the downfall for us, so it's that Ryan guy with his beard, his playoff beard.
That was weak.
Yeah, it was.
Beard was junk.
Hope I never see that guy again.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? What are you hanging out in the rain for?
It's too dry inside. Hey, what's it to you?
Hey, what are you doing here with that stupid beard of yours? I'm gonna kick your
What's the problem, guys? I was just trying to help.
I've got to get rid of this thing.
Another havoc hair nightmare, Ryan. I can help you with that.
I got a better idea. And that better idea involves the professionals. We're here at Roosters in Providence, where I've been told Jerry Scissorhands is not in the building, so that's a good thing. It was a good run for the Huntsville Havoc, but they were 4 wins short of a championship, so we'll say this was an unlucky playoff beard, and like all good things, it must come to an end. But before we do that, we have a busier than normal day in sports on this Monday here, so let's get right to it.
Losing a little weight there, are you? How's it going out there, Ryan?
It's going good, Lee and Jerry. Obviously, live TV, you caught me in an interesting moment here where we're just getting rid of part of it. Most of it's gone. I'm actually lucky enough to be joined now by Brock Sawyer and Eric Alexander, who were nice to help us get rid of the beard. I'm sure they're happy to see it go. It is game day in Tuscaloosa, where 9:56 a.m. is never too early for a little barbecue. And if you can eat pork that early, you can also do the Cupid Shuffle. No holding back on the first SEC tailgate of the season. And here's the scene at 12:32. Nick Saban getting off the bus on the Walk of Champions, an Alabama football tradition. Blake Sims, the quarterback of the Crimson Tide, walking nearly 150 yards or so to the north side entrance of Bryant-Denny Stadium in front of so many fans. And that brings us to right now, a live look inside as some of the Alabama specialists are beginning to warm up on the field. A big-time buzz is forming in the stands as more than 101,000 fans are expected to be here for the Florida Gators and the third-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome to the pregame show. I'm Ryan Cody. Chase Horn will join us from Huntsville in just a minute. Now, it's been 3 years since Alabama and Florida last played, back in 2011. That was a 28-point win for the Crimson Tide in Gainesville. Since then, we're talking two programs that have gone in two completely different directions. Alabama, as you know, has won 2 national championships since then. For the Florida Gators, well, the struggle is real.
We go too fast. I got to slow down. Or it sounds like some of our opponents.
I wonder who he's talking about there. Malzahn throwing gas on a fire that's already burning through the fiercest rivalry in college football. Not that they're supposed to like each other, but these two are starting to disagree on almost everything, which now includes scheduling. But the game kicks off Thursday night. Until then, laissez bon rouler, which I'm told in Cajun means let the good times roll, guys.
Let it roll. All right, thank you, Ryan.
Let's get this other one over
so
here.
check these out. Over at Innisfree, I think a lot of people know where that is if you've gone out at all in Tuscaloosa. Check these shirts out. If you buy them tomorrow, they'll send one of them to someone serving our country overseas, an Alabama fan over there. So really good cause there if you want to spend your money, help somebody out, an Alabama fan who's defending our country. Chase, it's been a good show.
Yes, it has. You know, all this great high school action, some really good upsets. Not for our area, Bob Jones going down, Florence going down, but still some great games.
Yeah, really good. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
Have a good week of practice, everyone. Players on college football teams across the land begin showing up to campus later this week. The time is almost here. Less than 34 days to real football for both Alabama and Auburn. Lots expected from the Tigers and Tide, who have playmakers all over the field. So before they arrive, I wrote a poem. So hopefully you get to know them a little better.
Hickory dickory dock, there's 1 second left on the clock, which was plenty of ticks for Auburn's kick 6 and a summer of second guesses. But a new year is here, a playoff is near, and will we see crimson and white? There's Nick and his clique of 5-star dudes. There's TJ, Derrick, and Nudie Bus too. Cooper and Jones need to light up the show. But who's throwing the ball? Does anyone know? Blake has a chance, but the spring wasn't great. Maybe the answer comes from Florida State. Decisions, plenty to make still, a small price to pay while raking in $6.9 million. The defense is large with Kirby in charge and playmakers eyeing the ball. There's Landon, Xavier, Jarek, and Reggie, and don't forget Denzel Duvall. And last but not least, now this man's a beast, the man in the middle. His name is Trey DePriest. But how about Gus and his offensive bus? Can they get back to the Dome? It's up to a few wearing orange and blue to help bring the trophy back home. There's Cameron and Corey and Sammy and Bray. There's Nick and his options spinning defenses every which way. Behind a big line with Reese and his swine, Auburn wants numbers that rival all time. But defense is key, and Ellis knows he has some talented guys like Robinson, 3Z. Owens and Lawson up front and Whitehead behind. Jonathan Ford could be a serious defensive find. The time is almost here and so much at stake. What could be better than that? We'll be back after the break.